Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. This is the special edition for Pickaway County. And joining us in our studio today, we have J.J. Milliken. He is Director of Program and the Academy Principal for Pickaway ESC. Going to be talking about what all that means in layman's speak and some news about what's coming up in the next year for the Pickaway ESC. Our interview today brought to you by Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. Back with J.J. Milliken right after this.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Back with J.J. Milliken. And first of all, people may be familiar with the Ross Pike ESCs that are all around our area. But what about Pickaway? Because it's kind of like a standalone as far as the county, is it not?
Yes, that's true. Yes. So Pickaway ESC serves the 4 districts within Pickaway County. But also our programming is available to other school districts in the area who may want to contract with us with some of the services we provide.
Now, in the title, I mentioned Academy.
Yes.
Why reference it as Academy?
Yes. So one of the services we provide is our alternative school, Pass Academy, for the full districts in Pickaway County. And we also have Amanda Clear Creek have students come to the academy as well. So we have not only Pass, which is more of a long-term alternative school. We also have PACE, which is our virtual school that students can attend from the districts. And we also have Pass Plus, which is a in lieu of suspension environment for students rather than just sitting at home. They can come to us and we can help them out with their assignments and stuff as they serve their term.
So as we mentioned, while Pickaway ESC is a standalone, you mentioned Amanda Clear Creek, which is actually in Fairfield County. Correct. So you do serve some other schools as well.
Yes, we do. There's, like, for example, with Amanda Clear Creek, we have an agreement with Fairfield County ESC. You know, they're very close to Pickaway County versus some of the other services are all the way over in Lancaster. So some other districts that may not be within the county may decide to use some, like our online school. Our online school, there are some schools like Adena, and that may decide to have students be part of that online school, but we also provide some education in terms of getting graduation requirements, helping kids get their industry recognized credentials, and other schools like Paint Valley sign on to get some of those services as well.
We had Tom Kitchen, who's the superintendent at Pickaway ESC, some months back, and I'll have you reiterate something that Tom addressed. In a lot of ways, you're able to help some of the school districts with some things that maybe they don't have the budget to handle all themselves. Talk about that.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of positions that are those, services for students that districts may not be able to afford on their own or make enough sense for them to hire a whole person for just for 1 or 2 students. They may contract with the ESC because there may be a number of school districts that have just a few students who need those services, like say for speech therapists or occupational therapists. They can then come to an ESC who can then hire that person, and then that person can actually provide those services for multiple districts at the same time.
So how many people are probably employed at Pickaway ESC at this time?
I believe, I'm trying to remember that number off the top of my head. I think we're at about 60, if I remember right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, you were telling us before we went on the air that probably sometime within the next year, you'll be moving locations.
That is true, yes. At a recent board meeting, we pulled the trigger on starting some plans to actually move on from our Stone Ridge offices from the ESC, sell that building and move all of our locations. We approved to purchase the Mound Street Elementary, which was owned by, well, first it was a Circleville City School building, and then Pickaway Ross actually had programs in it. They decided to move programs back. We approved to purchase the building. So actually the ESC will hopefully over the next year start to move in, and we approve some projects to take over that building.
What will that do as far as just space alone for you?
It's a lot more. So it really just brings everybody in the same place. We're able to use a lot of that space for our academy for, pass and pace and those programs. But we also have space to where we have the offices move in. So it puts us all on the same campus, plenty of parking in one central location for the districts to be able to find us and have access to all of our programs and resources there.
So has that building been vacant for a while? Or?
No, it was just last year that Pickaway Ross decided to move everything over there. Actually, our academy and Pickaway Ross shared the building for a number of years, where students had access to both Pickaway Ross's programs while they were in our alternative school. Now that they moved back, that freed up a lot of space, and we started to put more counseling and stuff in it. We actually contract with Ross Pike ESC for a couple classrooms there. And so we're looking at how to utilize the space and everything, and we've really utilized a lot of it, just what our needs are, and we kind of realized, hey, we can move the offices over here and utilize this space ourselves.
How long have you been on board there at Pickaway?
Since August.
Okay.
Yep.
And before that?
Before that, I was high school principal at Vinton County for the past 4 years. And before that, I was 7 years a social studies teacher at Jackson High School.
Now, we were getting a little bio from JJ before we came on the air. You've got family over this way that some of our viewers will probably know, the Milliken family.
Yep. Millikens are all over the place. We got PGA over in Frankfort and Dave and Judy in the Chillicothe area. And then a lot of us still live down in the Wellston and Jackson area. So.
Is that where the Millikens originated from?
Originated in Colton.
I did not know that.
Lived. So yeah, all the Milliken brothers were born in Colton and everything, and kind of spread out from there.
And you were a Jackson High School grad.
That is correct.
Where did you do your college?
University of Rio Grande is where I got my bachelor's, and I got my master's from Ohio University.
So you stayed down in Southeast Ohio?
Stayed in Southeastern Ohio. Love it down here and get along with everybody, and I just want to create more opportunities for the kids in the area.
So other than, moving into new facilities here within the year, where do you see, as far as the long-range goal for Pickaway ESC, some of the things that this move and some other things that you're doing might enable you to do that maybe currently is not being done?
Yeah. Tom's a great person to work for and work with in terms of coming up with plans for the future for the ESC. One thing that we always hear from the districts is, we want to be more involved with things. We want to see the ESC more and see what other things we could do. So we're always looking at programs that we could provide back to the schools, even if it means, utilizing the space we have at Mound Street that's centrally located, and coming up with creative ways to where we could provide services for them and do trainings there and everything, to where teachers could come there and do some training for them, or also have the students that are coming to that same campus to do that programming and everything. And so even looking at the programming we have and thinking of ways that we can make it more accessible for the students of Pickaway County, while maintaining, the same quality of service that, we want to provide.
Of course, there's many different things that you've outlined that the ESC does, but among them, students that maybe are a bit troubled.
Yeah.
Doing everything you can, not to just suspend students or expel them, but do whatever is possible to keep them in school, because obviously they're not learning when they're out on the street.
No, right. And, our main goal is for students, if they get kicked out of school or whatever, we want to be both part of the proactive solution and the reactive. The proactive solution that schools are always looking for are those, those counseling services, those educational resources that may be there to help students. If the traditional setting doesn't work for them, either because of some services they may need, or maybe it's a unique family situation, maybe it's health concerns. There are things we could provide to help proactively get a student in a situation where they're able to access their education in the way that's best for them, and while moving forward. Now, on the reactive side, obviously, if something happens, they've been suspended and there needs to be someplace there. We also want to be a place where, rather than a student sitting at home or running around, that we can provide an educational setting for them to have one of our academic tutors or a teacher sit with them and help them complete those assignments. So when they go back in class, they don't feel academically behind because of, a behavior instance or anything.
Now, the way you're doing it at Pickaway, is that different in any way compared to other counties?
Well, that's what we're learning about right now.
Okay.
You know, with us coming on new and everything, we saw how the academy was run. And so we have gone and visited other ESCs, alternative schools, and other workforce development programs that ESCs have for schools and everything, and really start to look at, you know, what are the directions alternative schools are heading, how are they operating, what are some of the more successful ones, and how can we reflect on our practices and, you know, build a more successful program.
Which is, in my opinion, good, because you're not interested in reinventing the wheel. If somebody's doing it well, let's copy that.
There's a guy in education called, his name was Harry Wong, and he always said, steal. When it came to classroom management and student behavior, if you find something that works, and all educators kind of take that model. Hey, if somebody's doing something right, you want to go see how they do it and really try to bring that in and see how that can work for you.
JJ, anything you want to touch on that maybe I haven't brought up as a question?
No, you've done a great job asking questions and stuff. You know, I've been excited to be here and talk about what we're doing at Pickaway ESC, and hopefully come back and maybe talk some more whenever we get some more things going.
That'd be great. I'm assuming you're on the break right now, Christmas?
Yep, we're on a little bit of break right now, getting some work done before the students return in January. So
Okay. And this move that we were talking about to Mound Street, when that takes place, I know you said the staff goes in first, but everything else could be months later.
Yeah, we're really, our target is maybe to get some of the offices moved starting in the next school year. But as we're, like I said, we just approved it the other night, so we're really starting to get kind of a layout of what the phases will look like. But we're hoping we can at least start to get the offices moved over at the beginning of next school year.
Very good. Our guest today on the Pickaway County Special Edition on Leonard Media Live has been J.J. Milliken, again, Director of Programming, also the Academy Principal for Pickaway ESC. Our interview today brought to you by Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. I'm Mike Smith.